Hello and welcome back to Thought Leaders Lounge, a conversation with Family Compass. I'm your host, Chad Black, and today I am so excited to welcome two Family Compass staff members. We have Alicia Foxx, who's Director of Community Education and Outreach, and Tyler Wright, who's a community educator with us. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Wonderful.
Glad to be here.
We're so glad that you're here to talk about this today. So tell us a little bit about yourselves. Alicia, we'll start with you and how you kind of came to Family Compass.
Well, I came to Family Compass. I was coming out of a teaching career, and I loved teaching. But one thing that I realized when I was teaching is that if you really want to get the greatest impact on a child, you have to get to the parent. And so I really loved working with parents, and I wanted to dive into that more. And so I had a friend, Tina, who worked at Family Compass, and she kind of put me in contact with, what was it? It was Jessica Trudeau at the time.
That's right.
And it kind of went from there. Yeah. And I was able to come on board, and Cheryl Dean hired me, and I've been here ever since. I've been here for 7 years.
And here you are. And you just stepped into the director role, about a year ago, wasn't it?
Freshly into the director's role. It's been a great challenge, but also a great growth experience. So. Right. I'm just enjoying my time.
That's great. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tyler, how about you? What were you doing before Family Compass, and how did all this come to be?
Well, I started off as a baby social worker about 100 years ago, working for ONA at the district attorney's office in family violence.
Wow. Okay.
And so my background is in family violence, sexual assault, supervised visitation for parents, where I worked for the Family Place Supervised Visitation Center, and then followed ONA to Family Compass.
There it is. That's great.
She really inspired me with the working in prevention, because a lot of all my background has been in intervention. And so getting there, on the front end and getting to work with the parents, like Alicia said, is
Well, we say this a lot. Prevention is the key. So
absolutely,
that's the key to all this. Well, we're so happy to have you on our team. So it's been great. So the community education classes that you teach, you serve schools, you serve jails, childcare facilities, among many others. What kind of topics do you cover? What do these classes consist of, Tyler?
So our community education classes include child abuse prevention and awareness, and helping the parents and our students in our classes be aware of what to watch out for and how to respond. We teach about sudden infant death syndrome and safe sleep, and how to keep our infants safe at the high risk months. And we teach about shaken baby syndrome, or it's also known as acute head trauma, and the consequences of that and how to prevent that, and normalizing crying. All babies are going to cry, and what we can do to regulate ourselves, calm ourselves down when it gets stressful, because it is stressful for all parents, when their child is continuing to cry. And so we work through those things together.
That's incredible. How do people find you all? I mean, do people is it like court mandated, or is it something that they sign up for? I mean, how do people find
It depends on the class, but most of our classes are voluntary. At the jail, they are signing up, men and women are signing up for our classes and eager to be in them. And I find them to be just, they're like sponges, and they're so interactive. And those are some really great classes.
Love it. Yeah. Love it. So that contract with Dallas County Jail, is that fairly new? Have we had that for a while, or what is that?
I think we've been doing it for a while. Yeah. I've been doing it my whole time at Family Compass. And we're up to 4 classes now, 2 women's classes, 2 men's classes. Wow. And we know that there's a lot of trauma in the backgrounds of our clients. And so we acknowledge that and our goal is to open the minds of the parents to maybe different ways of parenting and being conscious about their parenting. And also, we're not disparaging our elders, but, when we know better, we do better.
Right.
And so learning better ways of parenting and safer ways of raising our babies.
That's wonderful. So what has that experience been like for you? Had you done any type of work in the jail system before, or is this?
I had done a women's group at a women's prison, domestic violence group before. And so I had a little bit of experience, but this last year of doing it has been really amazing. There's a lot of guilt and shame with our clients in the jails. And we're really emphasizing that really how important their relationship is there with their child and how much their child does need them. Yeah. And so everybody kind of recognizes that moms, that relationship is vital. But we're really, with our Father's Initiative and with help from funding from Crystal Charity Ball, we really are emphasizing with dads that their relationship is critical in their kid's life. And that if they're a safe person to be with their child, to be a parent, then they should continue to try to do that. And the dads of my classes really want to be a good dad. And just this week, a dad told me that after our class, he went and he called his son. And I'm going to try not to cry. He apologized to him for not being there when he needed him, but that he wanted to do that now and he was going to be there for him. And his son's response was, "Dad, thank you. And you have no idea how much I needed to hear that today." So it was beautiful.
Tyler, I love that.
Yeah.
I really, really do. That's fantastic. Well, such incredible, vital work that's being done. That's the one thing I think we can say about Family Compass. If there's a call, we try so hard to answer that call and rise to that challenge. And that's exactly what you're doing. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. Thank you to Grace Coffee Community for sponsoring this episode of Thought Leaders Lounge. For our coffee lovers out there, be the hero of your next event or party by serving custom blended espresso drinks and handcrafted teas from Grace Coffee Community. With its high-end mobile experience, Grace Coffee will elevate any event. From brunches to parties and weddings, let us create a custom menu for you. Your guests will thank you. Visit gracecoffeecommunity.com to say hello and find out how to book your next event. So, Alicia, I'm going to pitch to you for a second, kind of talk about bringing families together. What is that? What does that consist of?
So our Bringing Families Together program is a program that really supports families and parents that are in transitional housing, that could be like homeless shelters. And it helps them we introduce them to a curriculum called Triple P, which is the Positive Parenting Program. And Triple P is a world-renowned, internationally known curriculum. It really is a great paradigm shift when you think about parenting and learning how to cultivate a positive relationship with your child over time. And those things consist of, the way that we discipline our children, also the way that what we expect from our children. Are we expecting things that are developmentally appropriate, but also personality-wise, getting to know their children, and being a safe, like Tyler mentioned, being a safe person for their child to talk to. And so we do that in the transitional and supportive housings. And a lot of the curriculum is goal-oriented. So with this program, they can identify specific goals, parenting goals that they have, and then we work towards those goals. So it really is a more intentional program. Also to help parents know that even through transitional housing or through low times, you can still parent. And then how to deal with their stress, because of course that impacts their stress levels. So that is our BFT program. Currently, we do shelters. We've been at Interfaith Housing. We've been at Salvation Army. What's the other one we've done?
Bound.
Homeward Bound is our drug rehabilitation center, where we go in and we work with moms and dads there. And I think that is That's all where we're at now.
Shepherd's Inn.
Shepherd's Inn.
We just started
We just started Shepherd's
You
Inn.
need one more.
Yeah, we started Shepherd's Inn. That's a new one, and that is for moms that are in recovery. Am I right on that?
Yes, and trauma histories particularly.
So just helping, our BFT is we're getting in there and doing the works and taking our hands, the gloves off and getting in there and meeting parents where they are, but also in a place to build them up so that, again, they can build their children up and be safe people and have a safe environment for their children, no matter where they are, because they can create a safe environment for their children. So just helping them through parenting, the hills and valleys of parenting.
Yeah, absolutely. And it sounds very individualized, which is great, instead of just doing sort of this broad that may not necessarily speak to everybody. But I love that.
Yeah,
that's really fantastic.
We're really fortunate to be able to do that too.
Right.
So.
Absolutely. Would you say that the curriculum really does help to build some confidence in parenting, like through that education, that sort of aha that hopefully everyone has?
I think one story that comes to mind, I think of a girl that I had in the beginning when I first got here at Salvation Army. She had lost her mother, and she was her mother's caretaker. So her mother became sick. Sure. And so once she lost her mother, she lost everything. And she had just had a newborn baby also. Oh, wow. And so she was at Salvation Army, and she was really low. That's a lot of loss. And we started Triple P. This was our 8-week class there. And I just saw her confidence go. The first day we did I think it was a collage, just like a goal setting collage. And she just knocked that out of the water. And then by the time the 8 weeks was up, to make a long story short, she was already gone. She had gotten, about 4 weeks, she had gotten a car. Because she was in the process of getting a job. She secured the job, then she got a car, and then by the last class, she didn't get to get her certificate because she was gone. She had already transitioned out of the program. But when I think about her and I think about where she started and where she was through the class, a lot of times parents just need that boost, that confidence boost that you're saying. Because sometimes when you experience lows, it's easy to swirl in that. But if you have someone to come in and support and help you and relate with you, then you can pull yourself back up.
Rise.
So
that's right.
That's one good story that I remember.
That is.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to leave the program, that's a nice reason to, I suppose. So that's good. So I think a key word in kind of everything that we're talking about, we talk about community education, community outreach. And that, again, can be very broad. You guys kind of explain that now. You cover a lot of bases in the programming work that you do. What are some other key initiatives that you do on an annual basis?
So some of those are our back to school event. And our back to school event is where we're able to provide all of our families with backpacks, with school supplies to jumpstart their school year off grade. If back to school can be such a stressful time financially, especially because you're responsible for so many things. Right. So we're able to assist them in that way. We've been able to assist with uniforms also. But every year, each child gets a backpack full of school supplies. We've been able to give gift cards. The last few years, we've been able to give grocery gift cards along with that, just to help our families jumpstart the school year. Right. The other thing is our client holiday party, which is kind of the same during the Christmas holidays. We give out presents to all of our families. They get, each child gets a gift. And just to spread some holiday cheer, we've had a holiday event where we all sit down and we share a meal and we've had entertainment. But due to COVID, we've transitioned to a drive-through, but we still have a great drive-through. This year we had hot cocoa. We have Santa out.
It was amazing.
Hot cocoa was
amazing.
Such a hit.
It was so good.
And just to bring that holiday cheer to our families, that's the whole goal, is to know that they're supported and they have help to help them enjoy the holiday. And then we have CAPCO. CAPCO is our Child Abuse and Awareness Committee. And so what we do is we are partner organizations all over Dallas County. We come and we meet together and we talk about things going on in the community, ways to continue to prevent child abuse. And then we host an awareness event, which is coming up in April. Every April, we host the Dallas County Child Abuse Awareness event, and it is held at Dallas Casa, and we honor our CPS workers and other social workers and child abuse prevention, all of our people, all of our wonderful people. We honor them, and just to let them know we appreciate the work that they do.
Wonderful. In April, that coincides with the Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Month, correct?
Yes, that is Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Month. So,
That's great. I think you'll need like a couple more things on your plate. I really do. I think just a couple more. I don't think you have near enough to do.
Right. It's a lot, but it's rewarding work.
I'm sure. Oh my gosh.
It's very rewarding. But it is hard to keep up with. What do we do? Do we do this? We do this? We do this?
Where are we at now? Yeah, absolutely. And one really great thing from last year is you were awarded the Crystal Charity Ball. They helped fund your Connecting Fathers with Their Children project, which is fantastic.
Wonderful.
So that's great. That's great.
We're really excited about that.
Well, I mean, honestly and truly, I just want to thank you both so much for the work. And I know your teammate Griselda, who is she's a rock star. But you guys are really doing amazing work, and we're just so appreciative of that. And thank you guys for being here today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. And as always, we want to leave you with an inspirational quote to take with you into the world. So today's quote is by Angela Schwint. It says, "While we try to teach our children all about life, our children teach us what life is all about." And thank you for joining this episode of Thought Leaders Lounge. Stay tuned for the next episode coming out in a couple weeks, where we will chat with our program teams about their vital work. And be sure to subscribe to Thought Leaders Lounge on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube, or wherever you get your podcast. You can find the latest agency updates on social media. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, all at Family Compass. See you next time.